And I found a great quote from her. It was, "You're more beautiful than you know, more talented than you think, and more loved than you can imagine."
Well said, Candy.
Candy Johnson.
And Janet. Yes.
So you've been watching YouTube, getting obsessed with some YouTubers?
Yeah. You know what? I hate to say this. I unsubscribed to her a couple years ago, but I still check her out occasionally. Mm-hmm. But I love her. It's just that sometimes when you subscribe to too much, there's just almost too much.
It's overwhelming.
And I watched her for a long time, I have to say. So now I'm trying to get in good shape, like I have been for the past 20 years.
Right.
I've been lifting weights again. So I watch Nikki Blacketer on YouTube. And she's 24, I think, and in amazing shape. But she shows, and she has 2 husky dogs. So I love the husky dogs. Mm-hmm. She'll show what she's eating. She's got a really good-looking boyfriend. It's just like, I don't know what, it like takes the place of soap operas or something.
It does.
There's nothing, but what do I want to say? Earth-shattering or, meaningful. It's not the news, but that's
it. It's not the news. It's not the sad stuff.
Exactly. And I did see on her Instagram, she showed her picture before and after she started lifting weights. And she does, I guess there's different levels of competitions. So she's in bikini competitions, which I think is more just you're toned and muscle definition. I'm not exactly sure.
So when you say you're lifting weights, what does that mean? Like, how much are these weights that you're lifting? Well,
Janet, upper body, not so much. I'm not very strong in my upper body. But
I'm not either.
Yeah, lower body, I try to lift more. And I try to lift heavy because after I had the girls, I got back into shape lifting because I was like 32. So just your usual, cut back for a little while and do cardio wasn't cutting it anymore. And it changes your shape too. So I tell myself this. You eat like a gorilla, you lift like a gorilla, but don't throw feces like a gorilla. Because that gets old like after the 3rd time, Janet.
That runs the boys away.
Yeah, doesn't work. So I just try to lift as hard as I can and then eat. Lately, I've been just trying to eat a lot of vegetables, like a mixing bowl full of greens.
Greens
for dinner, like a spinach salad, but instead of just a little bowl, I get out a mixing bowl for dinner.
So like a whole bag, if you get that prepared stuff.
Correct, like a 1 pound bag. Yeah.
Dang, what do you use dressing?
Yes. I read the book Eat to Live, and they said don't use dressing, but I do cheat a little bit, and I do that. So there is Sprouts has Greek yogurt dressing, so you can use like 2 tablespoons, and really, I'm probably using like 4 tablespoons.
I was going to say a
that amount
bowl?
of lettuce.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm mixing it up. But they'll have cilantro ranch dressing. And a creamy Parmesan Caesar dressing. For 2 tablespoons, it's like 40 or 50 calories.
I'm going to have to check that out. Yep.
Right. Sprouts in the refrigerated section.
And so what do you eat throughout the day? Just more vegetables?
Yes. Well, I have a Quest bar, double chocolate.
Oh, I like their
breakfast.
Oreo. Do you
eat that?
Do you warm them up in the microwave?
No, but you are such a whiz. Nikki Blacketer, my YouTube
or bake
obsession.
Them?
She does that. She heats them up in the oven.
Yeah,
and then puts peanut butter in between them.
Yes,
they're so good.
Yes, it's kind of like a cookie.
Yes.
But healthy for you-ish.
Has a ton of fiber in it.
It does. Maybe that's... Because I've been doing oatmeal in the morning. Maybe I should try some Quest bars. Does it keep you pretty full until lunch?
Yeah, it does pretty good. And it just when I wake up in the morning, I'm kind of hungry and I have a sweet tooth. So it helps with the sweet tooth. Mm-hmm. Because with oatmeal, I used to do that and it was like 50-50 oatmeal to brown sugar.
Yeah. I get the maple and brown sugar from Quaker Oats, but it's the low sugar kind, and I'm sure they pack it full of chemicals to make it low sugar.
Oh,
you know how they are.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that. Yeah.
Not healthy. Not healthy.
Not healthy.
I've been trying to lift some more weights. Because I was doing squats for a while, but now I've added 20 pounds in each hand squats. And I do like 25 in between like my cardios and my abs. But my body's not changing. It's only been like a week, Stephanie. I'm not like hardcore. This is a new thing. So when you're like lifting weights, I'm like, what? Me too. For a week.
Yeah. I've done it 2 times.
Boy, my legs hurt.
Oh, and let me tell you what, I cannot go I can make it if each body type or body part. So like if I do lower body, I have like 5 days and then I should do it again. But literally if I go past 2 weeks, it's like back to square one. Yeah. I do not have, that's the one thing I noticed with age. You can get it back, but you just don't have the amount of time you could when you were younger to sort of float or cheat or whatever.
Yep. Yesterday was National Fried Chicken Day. I felt it today.
Did you celebrate?
I did. Did you? No, you probably had your salad.
Oh, you know what? I went to Hanging Lake with my daughters. We had a daycation.
Oh, fun. Yeah. What's Hanging Lake?
It is by Glenwood Springs, and it is this small lake. I had never been there before, but it's a huge, I want to say it's a national park. If not, it's a state park. And so there's a little waterfall that comes down from the springs, and it is crystal clear water.
Wow.
It's just gorgeous. So you have to do like a mile hike up to get to it.
Oh,
so
good.
we did that. Yes.
Was it
great.
Raining?
Almost. Yeah. I was such a Debbie Downer. We're driving there, and it's 3 hours from Denver. And as we get almost there, there's a sign that says Hanging Lake parking lot full. And so then we're trying to get to it. You had to turn around. You're stuck in construction, backtracking for a little bit to get to it. And we're stuck in this traffic, and it had rained really hard. I know it dumped rain here, and it was cloudy in Denver the whole time, right?
Yeah.
But we had a few pockets of sun and not rain the whole time, and then it just rained again, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess we just got to drive there anyway. You can't go 3 hours without driving up to it. And there still was a sign. There was another sign right there by the parking lot that it was full, and then we saw an open spot right there. And I knew, like with the rain, that possibly there would be some spots open. Plus, it was like 2:30 in the afternoon, so all the early bird people could have been done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got the spot, and it's a tourist attraction. And I know there's a lot of people going, yes, Stephanie, Colorado is a tourist attraction.
It is.
And people come to visit. But I guess part of me was picturing, because I'd gone on a hike this weekend, and there you see in shape hikers, that are models from REI doing it. And this was like Bob and Carol from Missouri.
Hey.
Coming down.
I'm from Missouri.
That's right. There's nothing wrong with Missouri.
I just think it's funny how you picked Missouri.
I know. I don't know why I did that. You're right. Because when I was telling someone earlier today, I used Iowa. And I said, Steph, in my head, I'm like, quit using Iowa, say Missouri. And subconsciously,
just use Arkansas.
I wanted to bond with you.
There we go.
So there were all these people coming down the hill as we were starting to walk up this steep, like mile hike. It takes you like an hour to get up there, which isn't too terribly long, but it's a pretty hefty hike. Mm-hmm. And they were just soaking wet. And little kids soaking wet.
Now, was this from rain or sweat?
From rain.
Okay.
They just got dumped on while we were stuck in traffic on I-70 getting rained on, and me getting so mad. It was actually saving us.
Yeah.
The construction and everything.
I don't see you being a mad person.
Oh.
I see you going, oh, dang it. Well, shoot.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that one.
But then I picture the Stephanie that I've seen on the Comedy Works stage, and that's a little bit different.
A little bit more, yeah. Like the yelling at the kids one.
Yes.
So I didn't yell at my kids like that, if anyone's seen that. But I did use a lot of words while we were in the car. But you just got to let it go. Right.
You do. Now, do you have a YouTube channel where you post like videos of you doing comedy?
Oh, Janet, yes. I don't have a lot on there. But I do have some. You are so good. You are such a master at all of this. I love your little tips, like taking a picture of my mom in the car. Yep. So I do. It's Stephanie McHugh. But you and my 19-year-old daughter were like, you know what, this is pretty lame. You need to put more clips up. And I'm like, I know, I do. So
Steve,
I will.
I've been pushing Steve, and now that we have both fallen in love with YouTube, like he just wants to rule YouTube. He's like, I wish I would have started this in 2005 when everyone else started. Where have I been?
That's right. Even though I think like posting a picture of your dinner on Facebook is ridiculous, let me tell you what, there's a person inside of me that wants a YouTube channel of me just like eating Quest bars, you know, like putting them in the oven and going, this is how I did it. And put
there you go.
And becoming the next Candy Johnson.
There you go. You be the Candy Johnson of Quest bars.
Right.
And maybe they'll give you free Quest bars because they're kind of pricey.
They do. I know that Nikki Blacketer gets a ton of free stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's what we've been trying, Steve and I. We've been doing Pringles challenges and trying to, Anyway, it's time for question and answer fun with Stephanie.
Okay.
I have some story behind this. Okay, so Natty Waters was on the podcast right before the last time you were supposed to be on the podcast. So back when it was snowing.
Uh-huh.
And I watched the Grace Helbig show, and we were sitting here talking, and I was like, oh, you know what I'm going to have you do? You're going to create the questions for Stephanie next week. And she's like, okay, because she's like, wants to break into comedy. She's doing some like classes and stuff. And I was like, I think you would have great questions for Stephanie. And then I had to cancel with you, but she was on the podcast last week. I was like, Natty, it's perfect. You don't even have to think of questions again because I still have your questions from back when it was snowing.
She looked out so much.
So I know that she has been anticipating the answers to these questions. No pressure. Ready?
Okay. Let's do this.
How long have you been doing comedy? What's your comedy story?
I started doing comedy in 2001. I moved, this is the long version.
It's cool.
I moved to Chicago right after college and lived in Lincoln Park right by downtown and thought, you know, I should do stand-up comedy. Super close to Second City, never took a class or anything. And then later moved back to Colorado, got married, had 2 kids, and thought, why am I not doing something that I really like? not like wasn't thinking as a full-time profession, but I just took an